Alright guys, today's video I have something a little bit different for you. I am just posting the new video for the 2nd gen Ram, and I hopped on Marketplace while I was waiting for it to upload, and we are headed on a little adventure. So I'm gonna hop in the truck. I'll talk a little bit more once we get in the truck. This thing is gonna be so cool if we get it. I'm super excited. Alright boys, so we're in Old Faithful. We're in the Eco Diesel. This is my daily, and we are hopefully gonna go pick up a Honda. Not a Honda car. If you guys have watched some of my other videos, it is a Honda with 2 wheels. And I'm kind of excited because this thing will be hilarious. It'll make the ultimate pit vehicle if we end up getting this. And for the price that we potentially might be paying for this will be awesome. So check that thing out, you guys. I'm texting with my buddy Steve, and they are asking $250 for a 1979 Honda moped, little 50. Steve said, "Are you drunk?" But then he said, "Yes, go get it." So if all goes well, they said they would give it to me for $150, you guys. So we'll see. Supposed to go get it. It's about an hour away. It's in Sebring, so we're headed down to where the infamous Sebring racetrack is, or Sebring Raceway. We'll see what happens. Well, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to show you guys of the adventure on the way, but pretty cool back roads here. I have no idea where I'm at, but we are through the back roads. We're probably about 45-50 minutes north of Sebring, and it's just all these, it's pretty cool, just countryside through here. Not a whole lot going on, but pretty good like driving roads you could rip if we weren't in the Eco Diesel. Okay, we are about 13 minutes away, it says. And if you guys haven't seen the lighting setup, lots of people have been getting this light setup. It is phenomenal. I think the camera does it justice. This is with the highs, this is just the lows, and this is just my low beam kit. So super bright, there's the fogs, there's the highs on, and we can see clear as day here in pitch dark. We are out in the sticks, boys. So I am literally in the middle of nowhere right now. Kind of just part of the game, you guys. This is the adventures of just seeing something on Marketplace and jumping in your truck or car and going to get it. So it should be interesting. I don't know what the heck is all over the road here. It is I don't know. Nobody knows. Alright, I think this may be it, you guys. Like I said, I'm in the middle of nowhere. This might be the last video you guys ever see of me. Alright, I think this is supposedly it. Sketchy. And there's a person, so I'm guessing this is probably it. Alright boys, there she is right there. So let me get her loaded up and then I'll show you guys what we got. Okay guys, so we are out of there, out of the middle of nowhere, but I can't even really show you guys. I got it laying down on the back. Maybe I'll pull over for a second. Pull over here real quick for you guys so you can see it, but you won't be able to see a whole lot. Alright, she's in the back, boys. So I got laying down underneath the tonneau. And there she is. So once we get back, I'll show you guys this thing in full light. And just to add to the adventure, we're at Harbor Freight. I picked up 4 of these dollies. If you guys are watching the SST build, this way we can put the cab on something and roll it out of the way to work on it. For $10 a piece, I picked these up on sale, and this was the last day for the sale. I barely made it. It's 8 o'clock right now and they close at 8, so just made it at the deadline. Alright boys, well we just got back to the shop, so let's get this thing out of there. I just laid it down on the back because it was the easiest, and I didn't want to. I've had this tonneau where I left it like this before and it flipped up because I got this used, and it doesn't have the shocks that you can actually secure it up, so I didn't have a way of keeping it up because I was thinking of originally putting it like a dirt bike, but we just ended up doing it this way. So now I gotta try to get this thing out of here by myself. It's not like super heavy, but it's just awkward, and definitely not the lightest. She's made of some pretty good metal, so let's get this thing out of there and into the shop. We can get a better look at it. like his first wheelie. All right, guys, so here she is. She's dusty, she needs a good cleaning, but it is in a really, really good shape. So let's go ahead and put some air in the tires. Let's see if the tires even hold air. Not too sure if they will, but let's see if we can at least get some air in the tires. Apparently it doesn't have a spark, so probably gonna be a little build series on this thing, but this thing is so cool, you guys. So I didn't know anything about these before I saw it. Look at that. It's got a little Honda key tag on it. It's got a little key. Only has 420 miles on this, and it'll do 30 miles an hour. It's got a little, look at this, high beam, low beam, a horn once we get it running. It's got a little decompression lever there. And apparently you can disengage and engage the, I guess, the engine portion right here. So if you want to just pedal it like a bicycle, it's just as simple as moving this lever there. It's got these saddlebags. These are, I believe, aftermarket, but kind of cool. You can, you know, technically put some stuff in them if you wanted to. And yeah, 2-stroke. So you can see here, 25-1. Also, the guy was telling me that it ran 5 years ago, but doesn't have a spark. But apparently, look, this is how you add your oil. You can use this little rubber thing, and you can pour the oil in here, and then you know that's how much gas to put in. So I guess if you fill it up pretty much full tank, and then you fill this up here with oil, that'll give you your proper ratio if you want to do it that way. But let's start with the basics. Let's get some maybe air in the tires, see if that holds. Here goes the front. No, tube has a hole in it, I can hear it. That one got a hole in the tube. All right, so the rear tire at least holds air, but this thing needs some work. It doesn't have spark at the moment, and that's what I was told is wrong with it. But other than that, it has compression. I didn't know anything about these before I saw this listing, so let me show you guys what I've learned about these things. All right, so heading over to Google and typing in Honda PA50, we can find some pretty interesting stuff. So there's lots of aftermarket support for these things. You can see a 2-stroke exhaust with a nice expansion pipe. Also heading over to the trusty Wikipedia, you can see here, there's quite a bit of history on these things. So it says they were produced between 1976 and 1991. And it had a few different names. You can see here all the different names it was called in different countries. The Camino is one of the names. It also had the name Hobbit 1 and Hobbit 2 in the US. So the base model only had a maximum speed of 20 miles per hour, it says. And then, but they were all 49 cc's. And interestingly enough down here, main differences between the PA51 and the PA52. So the one that we picked up is a PA51. So here we go. The PA52 could reach speeds of 30 miles per hour or 45 kilometers an hour. And just the regular PA51 could only reach 20 miles per hour or 32 kilometers an hour. It says the easiest way to identify the two. The easiest way to identify PA51 model is by red and white in 1978 or red and black in 1979 paint job and a sticker saying it's a PA51, which ours does have on the frame. It says the PA50 was sold in the States where moped speeds could not exceed 20 miles per hour. The Honda PA51 was discontinued in 1980, with the only model available being the PA52, and because of this, some consider this bike somewhat rare. So I believe they're saying that the one that we have is more rare since it was only made for 2 years between 1978 and 1979. So it goes on to say, and this is kind of interesting for us if we want to make this thing faster, the main way Honda accomplished the speed difference was not in the engine's displacement, but in the fuel supply and carburetor. The air intake holes leading up to the filter are smaller, as well as the exhaust size. So the exhaust is a little bit more restrictive, so it's cutting back the performance. The carburetors are mostly the same. It says the main difference being the main jet. The PA52 has a 78 and the PA51 has a 60. So there's a smaller main jet. It's allowing for less fuel to get into the engine. It then goes on to say the engine read is also different, with the PA50 having 1 slot and the PA50 having 2 smaller slots, overall increasing the size. A common way that PA51 owners upgrade their mopeds to PA52 speeds is by making the 3 air holes before the filter bigger, upgrading the carburetor, and upgrading the read to PA52 specs. There's some other minor differences though, like slightly different frame mounts and cylinder connections, and the exhausts being crimped on most PA51 as well on some PA52s. So there's some stuff that we can do to make this thing faster as well, which is pretty exciting as well. Also, there's no shortage of cool videos on these things. There's a guy doing a wheelie on one of them right here. If we can get ours to do a wheelie, I'm gonna be so happy. This will be hilarious. But there's a ton of content, you guys, on these. So you can see here, we can have more than enough support to get this thing running, figure out the spark, and then we'll go from there, see if we wanna do any upgrades or anything. Apparently the most common thing is the points. They need to be cleaned. So the points are what generates the electricity in the engine, and it's just an older style. And apparently you have to make sure the points are clean and they're gapped correctly. Otherwise it won't produce any electricity out of the engine when it's running. All right guys, so this is a little bit different project. I'm excited to get this thing working and running, so I will make subsequent videos after this one. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Something a little bit different for us. We'll get this thing running and it should be fun to bomb around on. Maybe it'll be a flip project. We'll fix it, get it running and sell it and continue to do this. But let me know what you guys think down below. Look out for those videos on fixing and repairing this thing, and we'll see you guys on the next one.